Hello and welcome to the Economy This Week series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about important economic events which had happened in the past week, and this session is important for your GS-3 perspective. Moving towards the points of discussion part. So, first of all, we are going to discuss the expenditure of elections. As you already know that recently we had wrapped up the Lok Sabha elections and also so many state elections are coming up. So that's why it's very important to have an overview of the elections. Expenditure, then we are going to discuss about the contraceptive market. This topic is not much discussed. So in this topic, we are going to discuss that it can also be a market, what is the other aspects related to this things, financial aspects. Then we are going to discuss about the demand, rural versus urban, and then livestock census. So these are the topics which we are going to cover up in today's session. Coming to the first topic. The first topic is about expenditure on election, and this is the news. The burgeoning expenditure of elections explained. So here we'll take an overview of the election in terms of India and other countries. So if we'll see the India expenditure, which is of 2024 recent data, what we can see that rupees 1 lakh crore spent by political parties for Lok Sabha elections. If we'll see the US, which is 2024, estimated to be $16 billion, which is 1,36,000 crore for presidential and congressional elections. And if we'll talk about the expenditure limit in India, so for Lok Sabha constituency, it is 95 lakhs for the largest states and rupees 75 lakhs for the smaller states. For Legislative Assembly, 40 lakhs for the largest states and rupees 28 lakhs for the smaller states. And there is no limit to the party expenditure. So here comes to the question that if we can see that there is a money already decided for the Lok Sabha elections and for the state legislative assembly, then why we can see that lakh crores people are spending on the election? Because there is no limit on party expenditure, and that's why we can see the enlarged figures. If we'll talk about the international comparison, what we can see that in US there is no limits on the super Parliamentary Accounts Committee spending, and which has been estimated to $5.5 billion for presidential and $10.5 billion for congressional elections. If we'll talk about the UK, so party spending limit is euro 35 million and regulated candidate spending per constituency. So what we can see that if we'll compare the GDP of UK, US and India is way behind. Still, we are spending a lot on the elections. This is not good sign for a good democratic country. And what are the challenges associated with this thing? So high election cost create donor influence. So what we can see that various private parties are providing money to the political parties, and we can see that the government favors to those parties. So this can be a case of crony capitalism, and there is a lack of limits on political party expenditure. Inflated spending results in corruption and exclude well-meaning candidates. So what we can see that this cannot be a democratic game where those who are deserving, in those people have shown their faith, they can win. Those who have money, so they can influence people by their money and they can win. So this excludes the well-deserving candidates from this race. So here money played a big role. Now we'll come to another aspects of it. Another aspect is proposed reforms for election expenditure control. So if we'll talk about the state funding election, there is a committee whose name is 𝐸 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 Committee and Law Commission 1999. And what these committees and commissions has suggested? So they had suggested that there should be government funding for recognized political party candidates and also simultaneous election. So if there will be simultaneous election, there are chances that there will be less amount of expenditure, because every year we can see election in any other state. So we can see every year there's lots of money spent on the election. So this is also one of the thing. And then we can see the practical reforms from EC's 2016 report. And what this report is about: candidate spending limits. So include financial assistance from the parties within candidate spending limits, party expenditure ceiling, and judicial support, appoint additional judges in high courts for faster resolution of election related cases. So these are the proposed reforms, but what are the lacunas in these proposed reforms? So they had suggested that there should be the state intervention into the funding, but that will create another kind of what you can say corruption, because those political parties who are ruling, they'll have more chances to favor their single political party. Also, if there will be the simultaneous election and people are expecting that in such scenario there will be the less amount of expenditure, so it will also hamper the federal structure of the country. So this is also one of the concern. And also there is no limit to the party ceiling, so there should be the limit to the party ceilings and the candidates also, and these things should be severely monitored. And we can see that many times they had violated the principles and the matter has been reached to the court, but till the time when matter got resolved from the court, the election got over. So there should be the fast track provision to listen such kind of problems in the court. So this is about the election in expenditure. Now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about contraceptive market, and this is the news. Male contraception, a growing business with game changers. So whenever we talk about the contraceptive, this is a matter of secrecy, not just in India but in other countries also. But we need to discuss the financial aspects of it, that how male contraceptive can take a huge market. So here in this we'll discuss about the male contraception innovations and challenges. So what are the current options we have when we talk about the male contraception? So we have condoms and we have vasectomy. So these are the few alternatives we have. And unmet demand. So what we can see that around 2 billion sperm producing people are, and many times what we can see that there is unintentional pregnancy and which had burdened the women. So this is the social thing, and in this social thing we are trying to find out the economic solution which can also solve the socio-economic problems together. So what are the interests rising? So various organizations like Gates Foundation, UN show a global interest among men in controlling fertility, and they had also tried to find other alternatives which is apart from the vasectomy and condoms. And what we can see, key innovations in male contraception. So we have thermal methods. Labridge endo switch ring raises temperature to disrupt sperm production. Then we have hormonal gene, which is applied to the shoulder, currently in advanced clinical trials, and other promising methods just like contraline sperm blocking gel, your choice non-hormonal daily pill. So there are other various gels which can prevent such kind of the sperms. There are pills which is non-harmful for your body. So these are the possible research areas where markets are researching that this can be alternatives to the male contraception. Now we'll come to another aspect of it. The another aspect is about the contraceptive market trends and future outlook. So if we'll see the market potential, so global growth, so it has been projected to reach $44 billion by 2030. And what are the funding resources we have? So primarily supported by non-profit organization and academic institutions like US, India, Brazil and Australia. And societal and industry resistance. So what we can see that traditional industries, health industry, so they are mostly confined to the female contraceptives. So suppose that if there is an unwanted pregnancy, so there is a pills which is related to the female contraceptives, and into that situation female has to consume that pill. So that has created another health burden on the females, and market hesitancy also, because people are not much keen to invest into such kind of the markets. And there need to be changing perception, male contraception linked to empowerment and gender equitable birth control. So this is a very societal problem because this is a matter of secrecy. And if we talk about the health industry, so health industry does not have much research and capitalized and invested into the male contraceptive, and they did not had tried to find other alternatives. But right now various researches are going on, various market potentials are trying to be found out so that they can invest, and there should be awareness regarding such kind of things. And this is not just for the financial benefits or market benefits, it will also impact the birth control, and also it will have a huge societal impact. So this is about the acceptance and awareness, potential for the change and empowerment, impact, control over the life planning beyond financial and sexual freedom. So there are much more associated with this thing, that apart from the market potential, the sexual freedom, the societal pressure, everything will be sorted out through this thing. Now we'll come to another topic. Another topic is about demand, rural versus urban. Rural demand rises but urban areas slow down. Will it impact GDP growth? So what we can see that in the last discussion also we had discussed that various entrepreneurs are discussing about that how the consumption tendency among urban areas and middle class is diminishing. So what are the possible reasons we can have? So high food inflation and credit growth can be possible reasons that there is a slowdown in urban areas, and corporate earning reflects pressure. Profit growth decelerated in the financial year 6.1%, so which is 27.4% down from the last year. And what are the key observation into these sectors? So the companies like Tata Consumer Products and Nestle report muted urban demand, and we can see that in the last discussion also we have seen that the middle class is shrinking and there is a less tendency of consumption. They are purchasing less amount of automobiles, they are not having the luxurious life. So what are the reasons for this? So the reason is the food inflation and the credit growth. And if you see about the rural scenario, so in terms of rural scenario, there is a steady demand increase, and there is an increase in purchase of three-wheeler and tractor, because these things are mostly associated with the rural needs, and real wage growth in rural areas offering moderate support through urban wages remain largely stagnant. So in case of urban, it is largely stagnant in terms of wage, but in terms of rural, what we can see that there is a slightly change and slightly upward movement is there. So this is about. Now we'll come to another aspect. What are the key economic challenges? So rising input and food inflation, and that has created a pressure on real wages and discretionary spending. And RBI also cautioned against the rate cuts, and there will be the global impact. So weak demand from the Western Europe and US protectionism impacting exports. So because of the geopolitical tensions, we can see that there are difficulty in conducting exports, and various countries like US has also this tendency of to promote protectionism. So that thing has declined the demand of export materials from the India, especially from the urban areas. And slowdown in credit growth reflects cautious consumer spending trends, especially in urban areas. So there is a slowdown in credit growth also, especially in urban areas. So what are the potential growth drivers? So the government is expecting that the festive season, the urban people and in urban areas, so with providing huge discounts and heavy discounts, so there will be a tendency to consume more. So they are trying to increase the consumption tendency among the urban areas, and government expenditure spending focus on 2024 to stimulate growth and sustain rural demand. So we can see that there is a slightly upward mobility in terms of the rural demand. So that should be sustained, that should not be shrink. And what are the IMF and RBI outlook for this whole scenario? So IMF projected moderate GDP growth of 7%. On the other hand, RBI has said that there will be positive growth in terms of manufacturing and service support. So this is about that with the help of rural upward mobility and with the help of positive development in manufacturing and service sector, there can be, we can see the positive growth in terms of the whole GDP growth. So if we'll talk about that, will there be impact on GDP growth or not? So we can see that there are data in which the consumption tendency among the urban people is shrinking, but we can compensate with the rural areas if rural areas should not diminish, and the stagnancy of the urban area should be abolished in that situation it can be managed and we cannot see the huge growth and huge impact here also. Now coming to the last topic. The last topic is about the livestock census. Not last topic, this is the I think third topic. So livestock census. What is the livestock census and why it is conducted? So purpose and importance of the census. So head count of domesticated animals, poultry and stray animals across India to support policy formulation and track growth. So what we can see that you may have heard about the census of the human population, and this is a decadal in nature. So recently what we have seen that the government has announced for the livestock population, and this is not a decadal thing. This is happen after every 5 years. So last livestock census we have in 2019, which is pre-COVID. And what is the livestock census? So livestock census is a head count of the poultry, birds and stray animals, domesticated animals. So what is the frequency? So frequency, I have already told you that it conducted every 5 years. And what are the scope? So the scope is expected to cover 30 crore households involving 87,000 enumerators and key animal species counted. So 16 species included cattle, buffalo, yak, sheep, goat, pig, camel, horse, pony, mule, donkey, dog, rabbit, elephant and mithun. And poultry, birds are also counted, includes fowl, chicken, duck, turkey, geese, quail, ostrich and emu. Breed diversity census to record 2019 indigenous breeds, crucial for preserving genetic diversity, SDG goal 2.5. So we can see the that 16 species are included in livestock census. Poultry, birds are also counted and breed diversity also. So here we'll come to another aspect, that significance and new features of the 21st census. This will be the 21st census. So contribution to the gross value addition and what it shows. So it shows that how producer is adding to the overall economy. So livestock contributes around 4.7% of the India's overall GVA and 30% from the agriculture. So this is about that. Data use helps estimate sectoral GVA and develop targeted policies. So why just like the human population census, what we can see that if we have aggregate idea about that how much gender ratio, how much sex ratio is there, how much rural population is there, how much urban population is there, so that helps the government to have a targeted policies for those set of the population. So in the case of livestock population also, it will help the government to design policies accordingly, according to the livestock, according to the different kind of breed animals. So what the new features we have in the 21st census. So there will be the digital collection, use of mobile apps, digital dashboards and GPS for location accuracy. So these are the technical features which are added to this new census and new data points. So in this there will be for the first time inclusion of pastoralist and socio-economic data and animal counts. And it will also cover up the households who have a larger income from the poultry, from the agriculture and from the livestock, and their primary source of income is the livestock population. And also there will be the details on stray animals and what all these data will serve. So that will also trace the socio-economic condition and also how many population are dependent on the livestock thing. And also there will be a expansive data on the stray animals, which is a very progressive step, and there will be also inclusion of technology. So we're expecting that it will trace the data holistically and it will give a better results from the earlier one. Now we'll come to the question round. So before moving to the question round, you may have heard that festival season are coming, and there is another topic related to the festival season, and we can see that during festival season the purchasing capacity of the consumer rises, and any population you can see that purchasing capacity of the population rises. So what is the tendency behind it? What are the reasons for it? So you have to ponder on this, that whether it's the tendency or social thing we have, that in festivals we have to purchase a lot. What are the economic criteria related to that, why people have become more cautious and more eager in terms of the festive season? Is it the government discounts, or is it the companies who are luring the consumer to purchase more? So you have to ponder on this last topic. Now we'll come to the question round. How often is the livestock census conducted in India? Every 2 years, every 5 years, every 10 years, every 15 years? This is very easy one, you can answer. Now we'll come to the next one. What is one of the primary factors contributing to the weakening of urban demand in India according to the article? So we had discussed about the, what you can say, weakening urban demand in India, urban versus rural. So whatever I have taught you, on the basis of that you have to answer this. High level of corporate tax, rising food inflation, increased government spending, decrease in rural wages. I have already pointed out the reasons, you can answer it easily. Then we'll come to the next one. What is the common work around that inventors of male contraceptive used to avoid medical certification challenges? Making products as sex or wellness items, seeking direct approvals from international agencies, collaborating with large pharmaceuticals companies, and reducing the complexity of the devices. So this is also easy one. Now we'll come to the last one. In India, what is the expenditure limit for candidates contesting Lok Sabha election in larger states? Rupees 40 lakhs, rupees 75 lakhs, rupees 95 lakhs, rupees 1 crore. This is also very easy one. You can answer into the comment section. And that's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. And do prepare all these topics for your mains related to the contraceptive markets, the difference between male contraceptive and female contraceptives, and also livestock census, how it can be helpful for the government, and what is the significance of the livestock census, what is the difference between the rural and urban demand, why it is shrinking. So these are the possible mains questions for you, and you have to practice at your home. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.